right, OTC fans, we have reached the time of day where we talk to Mr. Hollywood Wes Irwin out to Chili Bowl, and we talk about just go over what we talked about today and what Wes is seeing out there with his non-virginized, well, I guess, yeah, non-virginized eyes at his first Chili Bowl. Man, he's been out there for 4 days, on the road for 7. I know you got to be missing Mel.
Oh, man. Yeah, I am missing her. I tell you what, man, she's making this trip next year, whether I race in the damn thing or I don't race in the damn thing, she's coming out. And she knows it already, so it'll be cool to have her. I do miss her. Can't wait to see her. But, nevertheless, I'm still having a great time. I'm not going to let that, get in the way of having a good time. She's good people.
Yeah, there comes a day in these trips, Wes. It'll be on the way home. You'll be ready to get home. I know when I'm on the road, and and when I'm racing or at the track or whatever, I don't think about it too much. But it's that ride home, and you just can't wait to get back home. But let's not talk about that, man. We'll talk about that Sunday. But we talked to some very cool people today. I don't know what got into you, Hollywood, man, but you set out a game plan today in your mind, and you achieved what you set out to do. And we've seen so many different sides of the sport today. We've heard from racers, photographers, apparel. I know we're going to talk about Johnny. We've heard his story today. But tell me how this day come about and how this all worked out, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I did actually kind of have a game plan in my mind. I was going through some things last night over Facebook and some social networking, and kind of seen some other people doing some things out here. And I thought, you know what? I want to see some things through different eyes. Photographers, vendors, and Johnny. I seen Johnny's little story only last night, and I posted it this morning on my Facebook. But man, that hit me, and I was like, I got to track that kid down. And even if I couldn't have tracked him down, I was gonna get some stickers for my race car anyway. But I just wanted to do something fun today and have something a little different for you, and not just racers, but people behind the scenes kind of.
It's pretty cool to see it from all those different angles, and let's start off. I guess we'll just do a little update, a little history here. Alex Orr, that was one great interview. That was cool talking to him. Another not only Chili Bowl virgin, but a United States virgin, man. And he's never been in the States before, and so he's getting kind of a double dose. And to hear him talk about the Chili Bowl was like listening to you the first day, after practice. And then the racing started the next day. But that's kind of what I got from Alex. What do you think about when you talk to him?
Oh man, yeah. After I got off the phone with you, man, I'll tell you what, the kid's excited. He was cool. He was very cool. And I didn't know it was his first time in the States. He told me after the fact, and I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy, man. I mean, you just come over to the States, but you come over to the States to get thrown into this. I mean, how cool is that as a racer?
Right.
I mean, obviously he would have been here racing something. He's a racer diehard all the way, just like we are here. They are over there. And but to get thrown into the Chili Bowl is really, really cool for a young man like that.
That's what I took away from that too. Is racers are racers. Doesn't matter where you race at, what you race, what kind of car, what division. Racers are racers, man. We all, it's a common bond we all share. Then we moved on to some apparel, and we talked to Debbie from Race Chick Apparel. And now you got to let us know. You picked up mail something, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I can say that. Hopefully she won't hear this, but I got her 2 things. Because she is a race chick.
That'll work.
That's a race chick there, my wife.
We'll just leave it right there. But talking to Debbie, she stays pretty busy. She's got a pretty decent little business going there. Travels a lot and some really cool apparel, man. That picture you sent me of you guys in front of the apparel racks, that's some pretty cool looking stuff.
Yeah, she probably had for the women alone, she probably had close to 40, 45 different things: hats, shirts, hoodies. They were all cool. Tank tops, baby doll tees,
Right.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. But I guess it's probably because she's been around racing all her life, which is cool, And I think the girls kind of always get left out of the apparel a little bit. So it's kind of why I tracked Debbie down. I had met her on Tuesday, and really cool lady. She was a little shy at first about doing it. As a matter of fact, when she took the phone from me, she walked to the corner and we couldn't even see her. She kind of dug down behind some clothing racks. But I guess she made it through okay.
Yeah, she made it through good. You would have never known she was nervous. She could take my job. That was for sure, man. We all know how much I stutter and stumble, but then we moved on to what has to be the second best. I don't know, man. Chris just cracked me up today. This I don't know. I know you guys are pretty good friends and you live pretty close to each other and everything, but I'll tell you what, talking to him, I could just connect with him, while we were talking, and just related to everything that he was saying. I totally understood everything he was saying, but he has to be. I tried to get him to tie you up or to gag you or something, man. I tried to get him to throw you under the bus, Wes, and he wouldn't throw you under the bus. So you need to hang on to him. He's a pretty good friend.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, I tell you what, you talk about outlaw racers. You talk about Steve Kinzer being the king of outlaws. Chris is the outlaw of photography, man. He is old school all the way, and he's a great guy. He'll do anything for anybody. He'll take his shirt off for anybody. You know what I mean? But he's definitely about what he does. And when we get here, when we pull in the parking lot, other than having a few beers together or what have you, it's like, okay, it's time to go. And he's to business, man. It's no messing around.
It shows in his photos. That stuff. I don't think people will understand how hard it is to do what those photographers do, and especially to level Chris is shooting photos. There's a certain way you hold your camera, a certain way you pan, and I got a buddy up in Indiana that I talk to a lot on Facebook, John Mahoney, and he's the same way, man. They just. I don't know what it is. They're a different breed. I told Chris that in that interview. They're just a different breed of person. That's for sure. All right.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely for sure. When you go to tracks and you watch them inside, and when they come and talk to you afterwards, but they fight for their territory in the turns, man. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's all about the best spot, the best shot, and there's no way I could hold a camera like that. I can't even hold this beer can I have in my hand right now.
There might be other reasons you can't hold that beer can in your hand right now, but we'll get to that in a minute. That moves us on to our last interview today, Mr. Johnny Gibbs. Man, I'll tell you what, we are definitely going to stick with this kid at On the Cushion. I know Wes Irwin and Wes Irwin Motorsports is definitely going to stick with this, and we're going to get those stickers on some cars, Wes. We're going to get the word out for this kid, man. I'll tell you what, we're going to stay in contact with him. I want to hear about what's going on with him. What's your thoughts about Johnny?
Absolutely, man. And then I met the kid. I mean, like I said, I seen his story last night only, but it was my mission to meet him today, and I didn't know if I was going to, if he'd be by the cars over at Loyot, but I wanted to get some stickers for my sprint car, but I was hoping he'd be there, and he was. And we got to talk to the people with him and himself for a little bit, and I'll tell you what, the kid's family, man. He's family. He's already in with me, and I'm going to do whatever I can do to stay hooked up with him. We're going to link up with him on Facebook. I'm sure you are, and I hope everybody else does too.
I hope so too, man. We'll get the links out there, posting on the Cushion, and I'll definitely share them to your personal page since you're on the road, Wes, and then of course you follow up from there. But we're definitely going to keep working with this. All right, man. Now we've come to the fun stuff of the day. We've made mention a couple times today that Chris alluded to it in his interview, and you and I have talked off air about it. But you're having some issues at the hotel, aren't you, buddy? It's more than a hot tub, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just more than a hot tub. It's been good coming to the Chili Bowl, but I can't wait to walk away from the hotel. I'll tell you that right now. No hot tub, okay? Mm-hmm. And you can't get in the pool after we get back from the races. That's another bummer. I want to float around there. I only got to do it one night. And so I got to do some wash today because I'm running out of clothes, and I did the wash. I threw my clothes in the dryer, and the dryer don't work. I never dried my clothes. So we got clothes strung up all over the hotel room right now, and we got the heat cranked up to like 85, 90 degrees. Hopefully it'll be dry when we get back.
You guys are going to
be a little warm in there.
I was going to say, you guys are going to be miserable when you open that hotel room and head in there after being at the track all day and all night and running dirty and nasty, sweaty, and then you're going to run into that. Oh my God, that's going to be.
What
Go ahead.
the whole thing about it is the Chili Bowl takes away from that a little bit. You know, it's I can get through that. I could have. To be honest with you, man, I would have slept in a box to come to this thing out here. I would have slept in a box right outside in the parking lot. This was the most coolest thing I ever seen in my life, man.
I agree with you 100%. You need to stop right there. You're making me regret staying here. I had to choose between Winter Nationals in Florida and Chili Bowl this year, and I chose to stay home this year. But moving on from there, all right, we got to talk about the beer fridge, man. How's the beer fridge doing?
Well, we restocked last night, so we're good to go. I don't know if we'll restock again because, again, we're all old timers here. We're getting up, and we don't hang with the young guys like we used to, but we're holding our own. But we haven't restocked for the last 2 days anyway. We're going to pull out of here we're going to pull out Sunday morning, I believe. So after tomorrow tomorrow will be crazy. There's probably about 15,000 races to see tomorrow, and that's cool. But we'll pull out Saturday morning. So I think we're going to be okay. We're going to make it.
Yeah, Alphabet Soup tomorrow is going to get crazy. It's going to be a crazy day for sure there, man. Moving on from there, I'm not going to put it out there, but I know we got a couple surprises we're working on tomorrow with a couple of the bigger name drivers, and hopefully what you have scheduled out there holds up, and we'll be able to put those out. But other than that, man, tomorrow's money day. And like I said, man, you thought you've seen racing this week. Wait till tomorrow, brother.
Yeah, it'll be all on the line tomorrow, that's for sure. And, talking to some of the people, some of the people we talked to all week long, a few of them are in there pretty good. I'll tell you what, Billy Pouch, man, that kid impressed me last night. I was, I said he's a good friend of mine. And what he did last night in his race, I mean, he went to the back 2 times in the qualifier, back and forth, and made it to the 8 main. Now, he finished 16th, so I don't know how that's going to put him in the old Soup Bowl, but I'm pulling for him, Unfortunately, Stevie Buckwalder, who we talked to, he flipped on lap 11, and they couldn't get the car back out. He was okay, all that. Mm-hmm. Now, I know we talked to Chase Stockton, and he's running tonight, so I'm looking forward to seeing him run. And also, here you go, just so you know, I stopped down and seen Justin Allgaier. We talked a little bit, and I said, "Hey, show me your hand." And he said, "What for?" I said, "I want to make sure your fingernails are still there." Because he didn't tell us he was going to chew his fingernails off.
Yeah, that's what he told us.
He looks pretty good.
His fingernails are still there. Good. He's ready to go, huh?
He also said,
"Go ahead."
He said to give a shout out to OTC, man.
That's cool.
Good kid.
Yep, Justin is a good kid. I like Justin. All right, man. So we've reached this point, Wes, where it's time to. On day 4 of the Chili Bowl, is there anything that you've seen today, anything new or anything like that that's just kind of taken your breath away and just made you go, wow? Or have you become unnumb to what you've seen the first few days?
Well, I feel like I'm a veteran here, and I feel like, I created a lot of family here. I met a lot of people I talked to on Facebook. I was talking to Landon Simon, which hopefully I'll get a hold of him tomorrow also. A good kid out of, he raced in Indiana a lot. He moved to Ohio, but I got to meet him for the first time. I talked to him for 3 years on Facebook and never met him in person. And when he came up and said, "Wes, how you doing, man?" He knew who I was. It was like family. I got that feeling here today, just like any racetrack. It's really family-oriented, you know what I mean? But the biggest thing that happened today for me was Johnny Gibbs, man.
Yeah.
That kid right there, that took it right there. That sold the show.
I agree with you. That's the highlight for me, and what you've called in today, and what I'm seeing online. Of course, I get to spend a little more time on the social media and the Chili Bowl website and stuff than you do. Being you're there live, I'm kind of following it here on the computer, but I'm having to tell you that Johnny Gibbs is probably going to be the top story of the week for me, buddy. But all right, here we go. You know what it's time for, don't you?
Yeah, and I don't have one for you.
All right, I'll tell you what. We'll take a break tonight since it's Friday night. We'll take a break from the words of wisdom, and we'll just leave it at this. Johnny Gibbs.
I used to be the king of one-liners, buddy, but I'm getting maybe after 5 concussions I can't remember them. I don't know.
You got me on the concussions by a couple, man. So I don't know. Maybe I need to get back in a car and get caught up to you. But
You do. You do. Absolutely, man. Get back in the car, buddy.
we're going to do that this year. We're going to get back in a couple times this year, back up in Indiana later on this season. Um,
Awesome.
from there, man, have fun tonight. Stay safe, brother. Have fun, and I will talk to you tomorrow, man. Oh, we got to get yeah. I'm sure you'll take care of it. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, it sounds good. Listen, man, I'm telling you what. I'm going to say it one more time for everybody that's listening back home on my Facebook, on your for your listeners on OTC. Man, listen, you got to come to this thing. Whatever it takes, come to this thing and see it once. Experience dirt track racing at its best inside a building. It's warm in there. Been wearing T-shirts all week. It's the most exciting thing I've ever seen in my life, and I was so glad to be part of it finally after being asked to go so many years in a row. I'm glad I did it, and thanks, Mel. I appreciate what you did for me. That's my wife. I love that girl. And to all my sponsors that are patiently waiting for me to get back and work with them on some things for my racing season, I'll shout them all out tomorrow night, and we'll give them a plug. And thanks to you, Dan. I mean, this has been fun. You know, we just made this happen on the way here, and it's been cool. And it wasn't a hassle at all, man. It's all part of the deal. I was going to talk to all these people anyway, you know.
Right on. Right, you're right. This was a deal that we put together on the fly. You were already in the car moving, man. I think it was the hippie chick in the Carmen Gia that made me send you that message, man. But I don't know what it was. Whatever it was meant to be, man. We're working pretty good together, and we got a lot of things going for us. That's for sure into the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's your wear stuff going today?
Well, today I'm all raceaholic racewear tonight, and I got some Bird's Eye eyewear, clear lens, shatterproof Blackbirds on, and you need them in the stands. Let me tell you what, where I've been sitting for the last 3 days, these glasses held up to getting pounded by mud balls all night long. And so, you know, check out birdseyewear.com. You need these things, man. They're not that expensive. Great, stylish, clear glasses, man. People got to check those out. I'll tell you what, I was a little worried about getting my eye taken out last night, and the glasses held up.
That'll work, man. Everybody get out there and Bird's Eye Eyewear out there, and of course old Jason, JD Racewear down there in Australia, man. I know he's following you pretty close this week too. We've been posting.
He is,
on
man.
his
You know what?
blog.
I think he stayed up. I think he stayed up a little later to listen to the interview with Alex Orr, which was cool. And I hope Jason got a good time out of it, and I can't wait to talk to him again when I get home.
Yep. There you go. All right, man. You take care of yourself, Wes. Have fun tonight, man, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, and we'll do it all over again, brother.
All right, man. On the cushion, baby. It rolls.
Later. All right.